Hello and welcome to Drapers Talks. I'm Graham Moran. I am Head of Fashion and Features Content.
And I'm Harriet Brown, Staff Writer.
We are here today to talk about Amazon's own label, Find. So Amazon has quietly introduced its first own fashion label into the UK ahead of a much wider launch this summer. And there's been lots of talk about what Amazon are going to do, how they're going to kind of tackle the fashion industry. And this is ahead of, recently they've poached some senior design and buying people from the likes of M&S and Primark. So we decided to take a look at the product that's on offer and buy some and try some out. So currently there are around 400 options on the website for men and women, although women is a much broader offer than the menswear offer. Generally looking at the product, I think there's a lot of basics in there, lots of jeans, lots of t-shirts, lots of tops. But particularly in the women's wear offer, there's some really strong nods to spring's women's wear trends. And the product is kind of positioning itself to take on the likes of Marks and Spencer's, M&S, and maybe even H&M. But I was definitely also impressed by the women's footwear offer, which is quite trend-led and very broad. And also there seems to be quite a focus on denim. So there's lots of denim fits, lots of denim washes, even some trend-led denim, which is nice to see. Amazon Find is still only available for Prime members, but you can obviously still take a look at it. So when you find it on the website, the homepage is quite standard, really. Some nice, attractive lifestyle images, men's, women's footwear. But then when you click through the product pages are kind of Amazon pages, so they're quite basic, no frills, lots of white space. Even the imagery is quite simple, it's not a lot of information, which is quite basic at this stage and kind of very no frills, I think, which is not what a lot of shoppers will be used to and some of the bigger retailers on their web platforms. Also, there's a few elements of the website that I thought were quite interesting. There's an element in the product pages called Complete the Set, which I think is quite an old-fashioned way to tackle, upselling extra pieces to sort of finish the outfit or buy into the trend. You might, on other people's site, other retailers' websites, you might see finish the trend or complete the look or complete the set. Seems quite old-fashioned to me. What did you think of the website, Harriet?
I think you're right. I think it's very functional, more functional than inspirational, which is a way a lot of particularly young fashion retailers seem to be going at the moment. So looking at its website compared to something like H&M, it's not quite as jazzy, it's not quite as engaging. But that being said, it is primarily a basics range, so you do get a good overview of what the products are, what they look like. But the order process itself was relatively straightforward. Amazon, so they've kind of got that sewn up. The only kind of flaw was that it's only available for Prime, but I'm sure that's something that will be rolled out if it's very successful. So we decided to order 4 pieces, 2 men's, 2 women's, and let's take a look at what we found.
So the packaging is quite basic, what you'd expect, but it's quite nice. It's got the branding quite clear. I quite like the label. So from the website, I selected this t-shirt, which is £13, and it is 60% cotton and 40% polyester, and it's quite soft. It feels quite nice. It's okay. It's okay made. I quite like this kind of contrast trim, the different colours. I also bought some jeans, which I feel that the ripping and the kind of fading and the dye design is a bit more than it looked on the website. It's a lot. It's not quite what I was expecting in that way. But again, the fabric's quite soft. These are £30. There's a good stretch to them. They look like they'll be quite a bit skinnier than I thought they'd be as well. But they're okay.
And I ordered a black lace dress. It feels a little bit rough, but it does have a lining underneath, which is quite soft. It's a little bit more see-through on the body than I was expecting, and it is a size small, but it seems to, at least on first impressions, come up quite large. But the style is nice. It's got a nice ruffled collar, which is a nice little detail, and the bow is quite nice as well. I also ordered a bell-sleeved blouse, which is a nice pale pink colour. It's a little bit more pink than it appeared on the website, and again the small comes up quite large, but it feels quite nice. It's 100% polyester, but it's got a nice texture to it. First impressions, it's quite a nice piece.
Some of the details on here, it seems a little rough,
Yeah, there's a couple of snag bits of stitching.
Yeah.
And round here.
But I think overall how much was the top?
It was £15.
So I think kind of, that balance between value for money and quality, I think it's doing okay compared with a lot of its competitors.
Yeah, I would be happy to pay £15 for this top. For this dress, the dress was £30. And I think that's quite steep for what you get. In general, actually looking at the website, the dresses were on the expensive side. They weren't particularly good quality fabrics. A lot of them were polyester, but most of them were kind of £30 upwards, which seemed quite pricey.
So for a first try, I'm quite impressed. It is what it is. You kind of get what you pay for. The prices are quite competitive. The quality is kind of okay to average across the board. It's great to have that kind of speedy delivery that Amazon's so well known for, and it'd be interesting to see how it progresses. I think the women's wear offer is quite strong in terms of the design. Men's, as I said, focuses a lot on basics, but it'll be interesting to see how, with the full launch, how that changes. So that's it for today. For more on Amazon Find and for all the latest news, fashion, and features, visit drapersonline.com.